like, wait. It's not on. Now it's on. Most of you are old enough to remember the Iran-Contra hearings. I feel like John Dean at best that day. I had to get out of teaching art, mainstream teacher. I do that with my eyes closed. That's what I do, I teach art. I was in a school, I was in Kennedy as a high school teacher. They hired me as an art teacher, but they really needed special ed teachers. So they filled me in everywhere. You're only supposed to teach one class of special ed if you don't have a license. Kennedy didn't care much about that. So I was teaching sometimes the whole day special ed without a license. And I don't mind telling you, I did a better job than the people with a license. I don't care, I really did, because I loved it, and I embraced it, and because I didn't try to be a special ed teacher, I tried to be an art teacher. I just used everything I learned as an art teacher, which basically is what a person who's teaching extraordinary students does. It's the only way to teach is with a specialized head, that you are addressing individual, again, like an art teacher, that you are addressing individual needs of individual people. You're constantly measuring, reassessing. I wasn't allowed to do that as a regular teacher, the things that I was learning as a special ed teacher. I wasn't allowed to be a mainstream teacher and use those practices. So I knew I had to start doing this all the time with a license in my pocket. So that brought me to Lehman, because I'm getting my license in special education. So then I have a piece of paper in my pocket to say that the law says I can teach this way, the way I've been teaching my whole life anyway, the way most people in Gen Ed do not teach. I love these presentations because this is the way it's supposed to be. This is what we're talking about. Where is Professor Bain? Is she here? Where is she? Professor, what, is his name Joe Kipabali? Say it again. Kichlos? First time I've ever seen him. What a beautiful man. What passion. My experience here at Lehman, you know, I'm taking learn how to teach special ed classes. And I'm sitting in taking classes to round out my background so I can teach special ed. When I was young, I really took, you know, when I could choose my electives, I took classes that I was comfortable with, social studies and art and a little bit of science and a lot of English, and I ignored things like math because I couldn't do that kind of stuff. So here I am at Lehman taking classes in math. I never got less than a B in my life in anything. I rolled a D last semester here at Lehman in my algebra class. It's the hardest thing for me in the world. I was very proud of that D, and I'm doing even better in my math class this semester. The thing is, it's been a gold mine for me this year. I sit with wonderful, enlightened professors and wonderful students, and I'm really honing my abilities. I'm so glad I'm doing this. This is a great way to teach all this new terminology. The sad part, the double-edged sword, is that as I'm sitting here learning all these practices that work, I know they work, they're working on me in these classes. I go take these other classes that are not about learning how to teach, they're about subjects. I'm being a student, I'm being an algebra student, and I'm not learning from these teachers. I have to go home and my wife tutors me, and I reread the textbook, and a lot of the teachers are teaching how to just teaching one style only for one person in that room who thinks the most like them. And I'm lost. I'm lost. They might as well be doing something as stupid as what I'm doing right now. wearing my name tag under my lapel so that you can't even see my name. That's the way most teaching has been, that dumb. So I am loving, and by the way, it's hysterical. I love sitting in the class, writing down the 14 disabilities, and all the ways we can accommodate students, all the latest kind of Braille programs and things that I'm going to be using. I love all this. And I sit there struggling because I'm sitting in a desk designed for a right-handed person and I'm left-handed. This campus has mostly right-handed chairs. I am with a community of beautiful, magnificent, enlightened people that are changing the world, and I'm going to help special needs students change the world. But we're learning, teaching on campus grounds, on antiquated equipment. It's the most exciting. I'm 61. I grew up in the 60s. I watched the whole world slide down. Everything is terrible. Everything. Music, films, Hollywood, everything. But only the politics, the agendas, the Republicans, the Democrats.
Don't stop.
But you'll have your turn in 1 second. The one place that I'm seeing a shining light, and this is no BS, it's right here. What we are doing in terms of accommodations, what we're doing in teaching styles, first time in our nation's history, really, we are really going to address the people out of the box, the people who need to learn, and who haven't been getting anything all these years. We have so much more to do. We laugh when we hear about early Americans saying, we're going to punish you if you speak in your indigenous tongue in this classroom. You can't speak in your tribal language in this classroom. We'll punish you. What was it, 6 minutes ago that we decided in the Department of Education to tell students that they can bring their culture to the school? 1 minute. They can bring their culture to the school. They can bring their cell phones. Oh, we're going to have problems with cell phones. But we should have addressed this 12 years ago, at least, and learned how to teach students with their beloved culture in their pockets. That's a whole other story. We have a long way to go, but my God, what a magnificent place to be. You got to be hiding under a rock somewhere in America today. What a great place to be. In the trenches with people who are really going to be addressing the geniuses, special needs students that are going to be changing the world. By the way, Professor Bain, who was my instructor in the first semester, I learned a universe from her style. It was a pleasure to hear her talking about it and breaking it down to other teachers, what her methods were. She never used the word cogent once when she was teaching us. She was just using the style. It was nice to hear where all that came from. But I just wanted to know that she's very consistent. What she said is what she did in the trenches with us, and it worked magnificently. I used up my minute. Thanks a lot.